So I've been a big critic of dogma. I've been a big critic of organized religion. But one thing that I'm not a critic of is church. And I'm not a critic of church because what church is, it is the gathering of a bunch of people that have shared beliefs or that have an interest in a particular kind of belief system. And the whole purpose of church is to reinforce the spirit, is to reinforce the insides. This is church at its most ideal, in its most ideal form. You see many corrupt versions of church where it is all about materialism and having the church acquire money, or you see other versions of church where it's a big festival and a big party. But church in its purest form, when it's done right, it's meant to be chicken soup for the soul. It's meant to reinforce your spirit. It's a reminder. And more than ever, we need church. Now, what's the difference here between the church that I'm speaking about and the church that we previously had? The church that we need, we have to talk about how our everyday is very empty. We have to admit this. We have to admit that our concerns are extremely material. The issue is not, so then let's not have material concerns, or the issue is not, let's act like money isn't important. Let's act like shelter isn't important. Let's act like financial security isn't important. These things are obviously, blatantly, apparently important. The issue is that there's an internal factor here. There's an internal factor here that is ignored as a result of everyone being indifferent now towards what we refer to as the spirit. And what I find very interesting as well is that many people don't go to church anymore. Many people have forsaken their typical beliefs, and I'm not mad at that. There's no reason to be dogmatic. And if you don't know what dogmatic means that you believe something unconditionally. If you believe that somebody that doesn't believe in Jesus is going to hell, no matter what, even if they're like the best kind of human being, even if they were born on the other side of the world and they're super nice and good and they're going to hell because they haven't accepted Jesus as their savior, that's dogma. Dogma is unconditional adherence towards a particular kind of doctrine. And then the thing is, I'm not even mad at that. I'm not mad at anybody that is discriminatory based off of their beliefs, if those beliefs are accurate as it pertains to the doctrine. If the particular religion that you subscribe to is saying these people are bad and you believe that, I hear you. Like, if you're going to believe all the way. But many people now have moved past typical beliefs, but there's no substitute. You know what it's similar to? Let me tell you what it's similar to. It's similar to when I'm talking with people about, let's say if somebody's like really addicted to soda, right? They're very, very, very addicted to soda. And then it's like, all right, you could stop drinking soda cold turkey. Many people have difficulty with this because there's no substitute. Because what you should do then, maybe now just drink some black coffee to curb that caffeine craving, because your body has become so accustomed to that caffeine intake, not only the caffeine intake, but that sugar intake. It would behoove you to then utilize a substitute. You need something to get into a healthier thing to replace the unhealthy thing. And so many people have shed this unhealthy thing that is organized religion, which I'm not mad at, but we now don't have the healthier thing. There's no one trying to have church. There's no one saying, hey, everybody, let's just commune together. That's the other thing about church, is communal. That is the other brilliant and beautiful thing about church. And that's what we're missing. Guys, never before, there's a lack of a sense of community. We don't even we're not connected by anything anymore. And yet we still are connected. I see your name. I see your post. You see my name, you see my, but we're not really connected. We don't really give a shit about each other. We don't really give a shit. Nobody really cares about each other. We all just care about ourselves like never before. Everybody is extremely, profoundly self-centered. So there needs to be something we can all get behind. There needs to be some element that we're all connected to, and that as a consequence, it connects each other. And that thing is an interest in internal upliftment, in internal edification and enlightenment and evolution and growth. That's why all these things, it's just encouragement. If you want an oversimplification as to what we need in regards to this thing called quote unquote church, we have to congregate. We have to talk and uplift each other. We have to share our sorrow and our woes and our lamentations regarding the sadness of this world. The everyday people would have you believe that there's no sadness to really talk about. There's no emptiness. There's no hollowness. Just la la la, do you, la 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 la, distraction, distraction, distraction. Let me scroll, la 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 la. Y'all ain't happy, man. Stop it. Stop it. Stop buying into what you think the norm is. The normal isn't good. It's not that normal isn't good just because normal isn't good. But like, for instance, it's very normal for the average American to be in heaping amounts of debt. It's very normal for us to overspend, right? But normal doesn't mean good. It's very normal for the average American to be very unhealthy. Normal doesn't mean good. It's very normal for people to be inconsiderate and rude and stuff. Normal doesn't mean good. We're all like just turn away from the normal for a moment to realize that normal is killing you. Realize that what everybody else is doing is not necessarily the best thing for you. Realize that we got to get a little strange and weird. We have to find a substitute for this deficiency of church. We have to be more communal, man. We have to encourage each other more and talk about this thing called the spirit. Spirit which doesn't care about gender. Spirit which doesn't care about race. Spirit which its only interest is in a harmony with itself and then with the outside world. And is it about perfection? Nope. We ain't perfect. Is it about lording it over people's head and trying to be superior and act as if you're holier than thou? Nope. I remember somebody had suggested to me when I got in a bit of a verbal scuffle with them a few months ago, a very insecure person, but they told me fleetingly, it was like, oh, you're so holier than thou. I ain't shit, man. I'm like, you wish. And the irony was this person was extremely arrogant and extremely insecure. And I'm like, you wish I was holier than thou. Unfortunately, it's painful how much I know I ain't shit. And when I say I'm not shit, what I mean is everything that I complain about, I've seen in me first and foremost, even whether or not I exhibit that behavior currently or not, whether or not I am still engaging that behavior or not. When I'm annoyed at people and when I'm encouraging and suggesting and very much so being a proponent of growth and evolution, it is not at all from this place of because I'm better than you. It's from this place of we have to be better. We have to be better than ourselves. That's what it is. I have to be better than my awfulness. And my awfulness is always yearning to come out. My toxicity wants to play. It wants what did Will Ferrell say? And the other guys, it was I think that was the other guys. He wants some when he's talking about Gator, the pimping him. I want some walking around money. He wants some walking around. I think that was it. I'm sorry if I'm getting my reference incorrect, but he was saying he wants some walking around money. He wants to come out. My toxicity is just like, let me out. Let me out. And I can see why human beings interpreted this toxicity as the so-called devil. And the irony here is that the devil is so interesting because people claim they believe in these cosmic figures, but y'all don't believe that all of this materialism and shallowness and just overall hollow lack of humanity that's constantly engaged, this lack of spirit, this spiritual deficit. Yeah, I don't think this is the devil tricking us to just be so fixated on nonsense, so fixated on appearances, so fixated on money. Y'all don't. So the devil, that's not the devil. If there was ever a devil, the devil is revealing himself. You don't think it's the devil that we listen to all this music that glorifies things that are very malnourishing? That's not the devil. Guys, all I'm saying is we're going to have church. I'm about to continue. I have the preacher gene, whether I like it or not. I got to admit this. My father was a preacher. I have the preacher gene. I am compelled to speak to these things, and I will speak to it forever, because there is this. I can't act like I don't see what I see. I can't act like I believe that we are actually happy. You can live however you'd like to live. You can live the entirety of your life being toxic, being unhealthy, being self-absorbed, being inconsiderate. You have that ability. You have that right. All I'm saying is I can't reject the here and now. I can't reject this opportunity. I can't reject that we can be so much more happy and fulfilled while we exist on this earth than we are. So we're going to have church. Let's have church. Let's redefine what church is. Bless you all.